Hey guys, I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm really enjoying this little bonus week and kind of getting y'all's input on, hey Meg, how are you? Um, so I just got started. I just pushed record and there's nothing fancy. I'm just kind of going through what I do for meal prep. For me, it's all about making it super simple during the week or else it's not going to happen. I've got 4 kids and we're all over the place. And so I'm just showing y'all what I do for meal prep. I start with my containers in mind. So I think about my yellow containers and I think, what can I do to prep for those? And so I'm about to make some brown rice in the crock pot. I also do steel cut oats. I can do those either in the crock pot or the Instapot. I like to make a big batch at one time and then kind of divide them up into half-cup servings and freeze them. I do a lot of freezing. So even with my brown rice, once that's done cooking and cooling, I'll put it in a Ziploc bag, kind of lay it flat, and then put it in the freezer. And then I can kind of break off a little bit, or you can actually kind of crumble it so that it's ready to go. Yellow containers also. I'll do pastas. I don't like to do those ahead of time, but they're super quick to have on hand. Red containers, I like to have like chicken and done in the crock pot, or I'll grill a bunch outside. Ground beef I like to have on hand. Frozen fish I keep in my freezer. Let's see, veggies. So today I've got spaghetti squash. I'm gonna roast my spaghetti squash and my acorn squash. I'm gonna roast those together at the same time. And I've got some sweet potatoes that I'm gonna cook in my Instapot. So I thought I would just go ahead and start chopping. And if you guys have any questions, and if you're watching this after the recording or you're watching the recording, just go ahead and put messages or questions in the comments, and any of the coaches would be glad to get back with you. So sweet potatoes in the Instapot, it's a beautiful thing. I've done them in the crock pot too. It takes about 15 minutes. I'm just piercing them like you would normally, like you would stick them in the oven. I'm gonna put about a cup of water in the bottom of my Instapot. If you're doing them in the crock pot, you can just throw them in there and just, it depends on if you wanna leave for the day and do them on low, or if you need them a little faster, do them on high. So I'm just gonna stick these in my Instapot. As many as it'll fit. Gotta get a bunch in there. Okay, I'm gonna get about a cup of water in there. Basically, I'm going to be steaming them. Let me get that going. Okay, so that's good to go. Hey guys, so do y'all have any questions? Do y'all have any questions for me at all? Meg, do you have any questions? Since it's us.
Sorry, it's a snow day here.
Oh no, hey, my house is crazy. I've got a little one and my husband who could walk in at any time.
Okay, so how far ahead are you making your food? Because I don't have as much, we're 6 people and we often are feeding 8 to 10. So I don't have enough food to food prep that much, and our whole family does food, so.
Yeah. I have 4 kids too, so we've got 6. I do prep for about the week. So
okay.
Like I said, I go through my containers and I just make sure that I have everything on hand. I'm not someone who has, you've probably seen like the meal prepping like containers, like it's like everything's all like pre-done. And I'm sure like once you do that, I'm sure it's great. But when you have kids and life is crazy and someone's going to gymnastics and someone's doing Boy Scouts and you just don't even know like what's going on. Sometimes I just like to have food on hand. So I always start with my dinner meals and I list like 2 or 3 things that I know I'm gonna make for dinner for my family. And then I'll backtrack from there and just make sure I have things on hand. So corn tortillas is a great yellow. I love tacos. They're just a simple, quick thing I can do for lunch. And really in the freezer, I do have a lot of, I have an extra freezer that I use too, but I like to keep like frozen broccoli, frozen spinach, frozen Brussels sprouts, frozen strawberries. I keep all that on hand so it's ready to go. I don't freeze. Like once I roast this, I won't freeze it because it's not the same after.
Okay.
But yeah, you can freeze a lot of like steel cut oats or brown rice. I freeze quinoa too. I'll make a batch of that ahead of time. It doesn't take up a ton of room, but it's just nice to have on hand so that you have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not doing anything super fancy here. I'm going to make a bunch of chili too. So I've got some garlic here. I'm going to chop up, put with some ground beef. And I'll keep that. That's for this week. Yesterday I did a 21-day chicken marsala in the Instapot. Do you have an Instapot? I keep talking.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I have an
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so I've got that. I made it yesterday, so that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I've got some asparagus that you really can't make ahead of time, so I'm just going to kind of trim it so that I can just steam it real quick tonight. But yeah, it's just something that once you put a little bit of thought into, and you maybe give like an hour at the beginning of your week, it kind of makes it all go a little quicker.
Yeah.
What are you meal prepping right now?
Well, I am serving lunch for my kids. I made chicken in the Instapot, and then I put it in a crock pot and made a barbecue chicken. So we'll have some shredded chicken and a pita and a whole grain pita.
I love those. I love anything where your family can pick a lot of ingredients and put what they want on top. So we'll do those. We'll do chicken tacos, and we'll do Greek pitas, and just mix it up a little bit. It helps kids too to eat veggies if they have some kind of say in which veggies they're putting on their stuff.
Yes. Or you cook it in and it's bell peppers and onions and they don't know they're getting it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Yeah. Actually, my kids are kind of freakish in the fact that they do eat their vegetables. So
mine for the most part will. I've always had this idea that, they're expected to eat their dinner and the servings that are on their plate, and they don't ever have to. I never force them, but then they don't get dessert. And dessert is like, they pretty much have dessert every night, which sounds like, why would I do that? But it's always something like really little, like a piece of candy or like one little bit of ice cream or something. And they only get that if they've eaten healthy, the rest of the day. So, 9 times out of 10, they're going to eat whatever I ask them to because they have that dessert hanging over there.
So with your acorn squash, I don't really know what you do with acorn squash. I love winter squashes. So what are you going to prep that for?
The acorn squash. Okay, so since I'm doing 80-day obsession, we actually have like a pre-workout meal and a post-workout meal, and they're both like really early in the morning for me. And so vegetables in the morning doesn't always sound that great, but acorn squash is a really sweet one. And so I'm just going to cut it in half. Like this is one of the easier, it's not always easy to cut, but I just cut it just like I just did the spaghetti squash. I just cut it in half, scooped out the seeds, and then I'll put a little extra virgin olive oil, salt, and pepper. And I'll just put that on the baking sheet. 375 convection or 350 baking for about 20 minutes. And I like to flip them over about halfway.
Oh.
So I'll start them like that so that they get brown. And then I flip them over so that they can steam and get really well cooked. But the acorn squash will be the same.
Okay.
I do butternut squash differently though. I don't know why it is, but to me, butternut squash, when you cook it like that, like in the peel, it tastes different. I don't know why, but I like to cut the peel off of butternut squash first, even though it takes a lot of time to do. Like chop it up, and my kids love that. They'll eat that instead of French fries. Like if we have burgers or something, they like that.
A couple weeks ago, I put on a picture of when I did a pan of roasted vegetables, and butternut squash was part of that. And I'm not kidding you. I think I made something like 20 cups worth of vegetables, and I took it to a family dinner gathering, and it was gone. Like the entire thing was gone. Everybody loved it.
Isn't that surprising? Like people think that that vegetables are something that people don't necessarily like. But I mean, depending on how you cook it and how you serve it, I have teenagers that come over to my house every Wednesday night. And one night I just put out carrots and tomatoes, and I think our group leader, she was like, "What? That's kind of a strange thing to put out, but you know what? They ate it because that's what we had, and they ate every bit of it."
Yeah.
She was like, "Look, they're eating vegetables." I was like, "Yeah, they do that."
People ask me what I put on it. I was like, that's actually just there's a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper on it, but that's all. I put garlic on it.
Okay,
but that was it. I was like, this is actually what vegetables taste like.
Yes. And when you roast them, it brings out all of those natural sugars. So it caramelizes. And that's something you don't get when you steam or microwave. And I do steam from time to time too, but I prefer the roasted so much more. And I've found that these type of squashes, they will last for most of the week, like maybe 5 days. 6 is kind of pushing it, but they'll last for a good amount of time. And you can do a ton in the oven all at one time, and then you have it all ready. And I always have my frozen for my backup. This week I almost ran out of that. One of my little girls had a birthday party, and I was in cake mode, and so I don't know how many days I was in cake mode. I just kept going to my freezer and pulling out stuff until there wasn't anything left. I was like, wow. So that's why I was like, you know what? I need to do meal prep today anyway, so I might as well just do a Zoom. And I know some of you guys were wanting to kind of see it or have questions about it, so kind of worked out.
And I'm still kind of new to it in this whole meal prep thing, so it's helpful to see what other things I'm missing or could pick up. So.
Yeah, I mean, so really the big thing for me is just to have stuff on hand. And really the 80-day obsession that has the time nutrition, when I first saw it, I thought, this is going to be hard, how am I going to do this? But it's helped me so much because it kind of forces me to have everything ready. Because, I pretty much have to have vegetables ready in the morning, which is kind of different. I just make everything all at once, and then the day goes by so smoothly, I don't have to do any cleaning, and so it's actually really helpful. It's changed the way I've done meal prep.
And your family's okay with that?
Yeah, well, the only meal that it really affects for them is dinner. We still have all the same dinners that we've always had. I just get up super early, and my husband's probably like, why is she eating dinner this early, or breakfast this early in the morning? But he's kind of used to it by now.
Yeah.
We're going now. Yes. For my brown rice, I'm just going to do it in the crock pot, and I happen to have some mushrooms, so I'm just going to put those in too.
Oh.
I'm going to put in, it's the same ratio as cooking on the stove, so 1 to 2. And then I think you cook it on high for like 3 hours.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have all the appliances going at once and getting everything done.
Yes. I love my Instapot for that. I get so much chicken done at one time.
Yes, and quickly.
And I have a rice cooker too, so.
What do you like better?
Well, I think I like the rice cooker for my rice better, but everything else, I used to try to cook other things in it, and the Instapot definitely gets it done better.
Yeah.
Prina, Michaela, Lena, Zion.
Yes.
Sorry, Stacy.
No, you're fine. I meant for this to be super casual. I'm just chopping and putting stuff and stuff.
I find your videos really helpful.
Okay.
I'm gonna play real quick, so just a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've got to do lunches in just a little bit too. And I mean, you know, it doesn't take a long time. I think almost everything is already in the oven. I've got the chili to make and I'm pretty much done for the week.
So how many meals, when you parse this all out, how many meals will it end up being?
It'll probably do all of my meals for the next 5 days or so. And then dinners, like I'm doing the chili and I already did the chicken, the marsala chicken yesterday. That will last like 2 or 3 days. I'll probably need to do another meal for the family. But we have to play it by ear a little bit because we have, like I said, on Wednesday we have middle schoolers come over, and then on Thursday we have gymnastics and stuff. So sometimes we'll do free birds or sweet tomatoes or something that's still healthy but fast and easy to get done. We pull together tacos a lot. I like to keep chicken in the freezer, and I keep, you know, just tomatoes and onions and cheese and stuff on hand. And I eat corn tortillas. My kids eat flour, and that's an easy meal to pull together. Mm-hmm. Another one that I like to pull together is stuffed sweet potatoes, because what I'll do with those sweet potatoes is cut them in half and put them flat in the freezer. And then I have the chicken in there, and I can pull out the sweet potatoes, the chicken, and I'll do like cheese and green onion, and that's and frozen broccoli. And so like that's a really quick meal that we have a lot, especially when my husband's out of town, because he's not a huge sweet potato fan. But sometimes, I mean, I've even in the crock pot at the same time done sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. I've just thrown them all in there. Then everyone can choose.
Yeah. Everyone likes sweet potatoes except for the oldest over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do the same but opposite. We do one regular potato and the rest sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Do you buy organic? I know that they recommend buying organic, but how important is it? Like, is it a big deal? I don't have as many amenities here. I have to go half an hour at least one direction to get to a grocery store.
Yeah.
So
I don't buy organic deliberately. Like a lot of times some of the foods that I buy that have no sugar added are like already organic. And so like I'll buy those, but I don't go out of my way. I don't know. I save money.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I don't. I just buy regular food. Most of my food comes from Walmart grocery store. It's nothing fancy.
Okay.
I'll do like a Sprouts trip probably once a week because I like the Ezekiel bread and I can't get that at my Walmart grocery store. And we have a ketchup and a barbecue sauce. The ketchup's made with agave nectar and the barbecue sauce is made with honey. And so
so you don't have the refined sugars.
I'm sorry?
So no refined sugars. Right. That's how you did it. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I'm doing Asian food, instead of soy sauce, I'll use coconut aminos, which is something I never used until probably about a year ago. But it tastes a little bit like soy sauce. It really gives that Asian flavor, and without all the soy and the sodium and stuff. It's got a little bit of sodium. But I'll pick that up at Sprouts. Have you ever used Sweet Drops? Let me show you.
Stevia?
Yeah, it's stevia. Hang on. This is something else I get at Sprouts, and I'll take like fruit and I'll put this in it with a little bit of cornstarch and like pecans, and it makes like a cobbler, and I'll just microwave it.
Is that your peach thing?
I'm sorry?
Is that what you do when you do your peaches?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are called Sweet Drops, and it's just natural stevia. It's just Sweet Leaf is the brand. There. I get a lot of Greek yogurt at Sprouts because the brand that I like, this Greek Gods brand, to me just is the best. And it's kind of hard to find plain yogurt that's not fat-free. And I can't stand fat-free or low-fat yogurt. I need full fat. And that's what this is.
Bonnie has it.
I'm sorry?
Chobani's the only one that I can find here that has it.
The Chobani, yeah. And I've used that one before too. But I like this one, and I get it at Sprouts. But everything else comes from Walmart grocery store, and I'm really cheap.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, when you have 4 kids and you're going everywhere, you're trying to
consolidate.
For sure. All right. Well, I think that's all that I have.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
just gonna go make my chili and I'll be done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. I was just talking to myself, so I was glad someone came on, which is fine because they can watch it later or whoever wants to. But it's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to cut it off, and you have a great day. And if you have any questions or think of anything, just let me know or any of us know.
Thank you, Stacey.
All
Bye.
right. Talk to you later.